thanks so much for joining me. So today I'm going to show you how to make these cute tag pockets, but they've got a little bit of extra wow to them. So these have got little charms on, okay, they're double-sided charms. I'm going to show you how to make those. And then the pocket has journaling on the back, and then it has this fantastic tagging which also has journaling on the back. Now there's loads of ways you can use these. You can use them just as a pocket to tuck into something, and then this here tucks behind this decorative element here. So you can either just put them in a pocket or a tuck. You can add a hinge on the back before you add the paper layer and then add it as a flip. There's loads of things you could do. You can add it to a front cover, loads of things. So there's one, there's another. This one's got a cute camera. Okay, so these decorative elements are a free bet over on my Facebook group today, and I've also put them on my Ko-fi page, right on the you know, just on the page, not in the shop, they're just on the page, so you can just right click and download them. And then this one's got a little tiny typewriter. So they're all just a little bit different, but it's like a set so that I've got a running theme through my journal. I like to have things that match nicely for consistency. So let's get cracking. So I've done some things beforehand just to save a little bit of time, and some things you'll just have to be patient and watch. So you're going to start with a piece of cardstock. If you don't want to use cardstock, you can use a good weight paper, you can use anything. Okay, and this measures 5.5 by 4, and then I've done my edges with my little template, my little tag template. Okay, I've shown how to make this on my, have I done it on, I've shared it in my Facebook group, and it's also on Tickety Talk. So then for the pocket, you want a piece that measures 5 inches by, no it doesn't, it's pocket 5 inches, yes, by 3.5. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. And then you just want to score it on 3 sides at 1/2 inch. So let me just grab my scoring tool. Excuse me if you can see my tatty dressing gown, I'm cold. So we're going to score on 3 sides at 1/2 inch, okay, to create our pocket. Alright, showing you how to do this loads of times. Most people will know it's dead easy. So what you want to do is fold and burnish those score lines, and fold them really well. Okay, burnish them really well, I mean, so that the pocket sits nice and flat on top of your tag. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut across where the score lines meet. I'm going to cut across that X and across that X, and then I'm just going to check when I fold those down that they don't overlap, and they don't. I've done all right there. Okay, so that's the easy bit done. So then you just want to grab your glue of choice. I use Collal. I get asked in every single video what glue I use. I use Collal glue. It's just my glue of choice. Okay, and you're going to glue this onto your tag. Okay. So if you're not in the Facebook group, the link's in the description box below, and the link to my Ko-fi. I share lots of freebies on there, as well as the things that I sell. I try and give back as much as I you know, I'm showing a lot of support, so I try my best to give as many freebies as I can to say thank you. Okay, so there's lots and lots and lots in the group and on the site for free if you you know, if you're on no spend May, which I could do with being, but I can't promise myself. So if you're on no spend May, you can go and download a freebie. You're still getting craft stuff, and you're not having to pay for it, so it's a bit of a cheat. So that's that. Okay, and then for the insert, now there's 2 ways you can do this insert. So mine are tabbed. Okay, now I'm gonna create mine with the tab on it already, and I'm going to use the tab punch board for that. Okay, if you don't have a tab punch board, you want to cut this piece here, okay, to 3 3/4 by 4 1/2, and then add a tab on the top. Maybe you've got a tab punch, or you can just cut one by hand and add it on the top. If you've got the tag punch board, then it wants to be 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Okay, and I'm going to use the tab board. So using the We Are Memory Keepers tab punch board, it's my new favourite toy. I'm going to put my cardstock in up to the 4, which is the first number, and then you've got small, medium and large. I'm going to go to medium, so I'm going to put it in and line it up on the 4 and on the medium and punch, and then all you do is turn it over and you line this side up with where it says medium. Okay, and you should end up with the same distance between, and then you slice those bits off. So this has got a little tiny, if you've not seen one before, it just makes tabs, but it's just really cool and it's fun to play with. There's all sorts you can do, and there's a little mini trimmer here, so it lines up perfectly, and you can cut the tabs all the way off if you want just a tab. So you put this little circle thing in, and then this has got a really sharp little blade, so just be careful, and that goes into like a track, and you can like cut that excess bit off. Okay, I'm still quite new using it, so I'm a little bit fingers and thumbs with it. Okay, and then it's also got like a rounder, so I'll put it in, I'll slide it up, and the rounder's there, and I will line it up like so, and I will round the corners, or you can use a corner rounder. It's just that if I've already got this out, then I don't need to do it. Okay, so I've obviously not cut mine terribly straight for some reason. Let me just straighten that edge up. Can't be having wonky edges. I'm just going to cut a sliver off. Okay, so that's how you do it with the tab punch board. It's a case of messing about with it as well to get the equal distances either side. All right, so there's one that I made earlier. And what I've done is I've created a coffee dyed layer for the tab bit. I've punched a hole, and then for the circle there, I've used these cheap reinforcers that you can get from stationers. I've inked it, and I put one on either side before I add my eyelet. I just think it looks nice. Then I've added my decorative layer, which happens to be from my journaling page basics kit over on my Ko-fi. Okay, so you just cut it an 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch smaller, and then I've laid the back with coffee dyed paper. I've added a little word there. There's loads. I've just shared heaps of words, general journaling words, on my Facebook group on coffee dyed paper and on white. Okay, so go grab those, and then just a little bit of washi tape, and that's that bit done. So now we've got our pocket, we're going to layer it with papers. So I've already cut my back piece, okay, and I've cut it an 1/8 of an inch smaller on the width and on the length. Okay, so now I just need, right, sorry about that, I was interrupted. Where was I? Right, so I'm using my template, and I'm using the same one that I used for there so that it will match up, okay, because I've got a few of these templates now. And I'm going to cut my edges and then turn it over and cut the other edge. Okay, I'm just taking my time here because I want it to be right, because this will be ultimately going in my journal, so just bear with me. I want it to be right. Okay, and then I will just edge that. Okay, then I'm gonna ink it, because we've got to have the ink. Okay, and I'm using ground, is it ground espresso? Yeah, ground espresso, which is just a little bit darker than vintage photo. Sometimes I find, for me, vintage photo doesn't stand out as much as I'd like when I'm doing it on vintage, you know, coffee dyed is the word I'm looking for. Okay, so now let me just put that there so I know where it is. So this is going to go on the back. I need to refill my glue bottle. Should have done it before the film and I forgot. Okay. And that will go on the back for journaling. Now, if you're going to put a hinge and turn it into a flip, put your hinge on now and then your paper layer will cover it up. It just looks neater, you don't have to. Depends what kind of a vibe you're going for. I quite like neat at the moment. Okay, so that's that. And then we're going to lay it inside the pocket. So I've cut a piece here, which is too long. I'm just going to cut some off. Now, if you layer inside your pockets, it looks nice at the back, but also where you've done those little folding over bits, okay, if you don't layer with paper at least a little bit over it, yeah, to just cover it over, then your tag can get stuck on those little flaps. So if you layer it with paper and just make sure you're going at least that much into the pocket, you don't have to fill the whole pocket, then it will stop that happening and things will go in and out easier. All right. So that's why I'm layering inside the pocket rather than just matting just the top bit. Even though you can't see the inside bit, like I say, it just helps you getting things in and out. And especially if you're selling your journals, you want whoever gets it, or gifting it, you want whoever gets it to have fun with it and not be getting things stuck. So I'm just going to ink that. Don't need to ink the bottom because you're not going to see it. Okay, and we're going to glue this. My glue bottle's nearly empty. Glue this in there. Okay. Now, what I do is, and I've said it before, I'll batch make. So if I'm doing a set of 4, I'll do 4 tags, then 4 pockets, then assemble it, then mat and layer them all, and then go and make the tag bits. So I do it in stages. I just find that I focus better if I do things in batches. Okay, just line that up nicely. Okay, just down a bit. All right, and then we've got a bit for the bottom here, which again I've just cut. No, that's not the right piece because that doesn't fit. Let me just check. Right, just needs cutting on here. So that pocket's 3 inches, so this wants to be 2 7/8. Yep, that's correct. And then I'm going to ink it. I'm zoomed quite far in, so I'll have to just keep checking that I'm in shot. Okay, so we're just going to glue this straight on. Okay. Glue that on. So all I've done is just cut up elements from the journaling page basics collection, and that just looks interesting. So that piece there is from the collage sheet with all the letters, and it just looks good because whatever you cut up, it doesn't matter if it doesn't match perfectly. It's just all vintage, so it all looks good. Okay, so then your tag slides in there like so. So then it's just down to decorating. So I'm going to show you how I've done mine. So I've got my little charms here. I've got some clocks. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use yet. I've got this little photograph of this little boy. So these are all part of my kit. These are freebies. And what else do I want? I think I might want a little ticket or number. No, we'll just go with just those. I think that'll be fine. So no, I need something else. I'll use these books here. So I cut these off of something earlier. I'll just use what I've got on my desk. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ink everything first. Okay. Ink everything. Not sure what I'm going to use yet. Don't know which clock I'm going to use. This one might be too big. I need some new pads. Look at the state of that. Tim Holtz won't get rich off me because I carry on using these distress pads until they'll literally fall into pieces, and they're leaving like bits. So for the mirror image, here's a tip. Ink them heavily on the back. Yeah, very, very heavily on the back. Because then if you've not quite cut it exactly, because you've got to fussy cut them, if you've not cut it perfect, then when you put them back to back, it doesn't, you know, you won't see any of the white, is what I'm saying. Yeah, so ink heavily on the back and light on the front. Okay. I'll do all the inking. And have I done that one? Can't remember. I lose track of what I'm doing. Right, so now we're just going to start and arrange now. This little boy here, we're just going to glue on the right hand side and on the bottom. And we're going to put him at an angle because we're going to leave this bit open to tuck our embellishment. So then just have a look and just plan where you're going to put things. I need to make sure my clock's the right way up. Yeah, that's one tooth. So I might have that there. Yeah, that looks nice. And then I've got these books. Let's have a look. I might end up cutting some of the books off to make them fit what I want. I don't want them that big, so I'm just going to cut them down. Okay, let's have a look. I don't know if that clock's a bit big. No, it will make it work. We'll make that work. Okay, right, so I'm going to put my clock here. I want it about there. Don't want to cover up all that blue writing. Okay, and then let me just place this where I want it. So I'm having an angle, but I don't want it protruding off the tag pocket, because then if I want to place it inside somewhere, it's going to get in the way. So I want that to be lined up just about. I don't know if I like that now. Now I've cut the bottom off. What else could I use? What have I got? I'm just trying to see what I've got on my desk. I'm going to have to make it work because I'm just going to have to make it work. I've not got anything else ready, or else my video will belong. Okay, so we're going to put these little books here, and I'm going to put it flush with the bottom because I've cut the bottom off. Okay, just move it in a bit. And then I've got my little boy here, so I'm going to glue him on this corner here and along the bottom. Okay, let me just spread that glue so it doesn't all gunge out. So I'm just going to put him like that, just at an angle. You could put it straight, but I just like things to have a little bit of added interest. So I'm just going to actually glue, put a little, just to tack it so that that bit doesn't come up. Okay, so we're just gluing it on that side and that side, so then we've got a tuck behind there. So now I need a little word, so let's make a word really quickly. Which one shall we have? Could do with quite a long one, and then we can cover up that bottom there. We'll have, see if that'll fit in my punch, capture the memory. So I'm lucky that I've got this. It's going to have to be angled. Hold on. No. We'll have collect moments. Shall we? What we got there, but well, yeah, we'll have this. Let me just see what's on my others, because it is going in a journal. I want them all to be different. Right, I've already done collect moments, so let's have let's see if special moments will fit. This is where the video all goes to pot because I've not prepared my word. Let's see if that fits. What it is mine's angled at each side, and I don't want angles. I want it straight. There we go, that fits. So I can punch that out now. Okay. Sounds really finicky, but you know when you know what you want. I know what I want, and I'm not going to compromise. Right, let me make sure I'm in shots. What I'm going to do here is now I'm going to cut these angled bits off because I don't want them. ink that. And then I'm going to glue it on some, I've got loads of black scraps of card. You could layer it on anything. You don't have to do it exactly like me. Okay, special moments on there. And then I will cut that freehand. And if it's a bit wonky, it's a bit wonky. That really doesn't matter too much to me. Okay. So that's that. So now I can stick that. It can go on the bottom and cover up that little part where I'm not completely happy with. You know, if something doesn't quite work out right, don't just scrap it. Just think of a way of making it how you like it. So if I put that there now, that covers over where I've cut them books a bit short and there was a bit of a gap that I didn't like the look of. Right, so let's make our charms. This is the fun bit. So I'm going to use red twine. You can use anything, just parcel string, absolutely anything. I'm going to cut it. Let me get a piece of scrap, and then what I do is I'll get my twine, I'll put my ink dauber on it, and I'll just run my twine through, and all that does is it just takes that glary whiteness off the twine. I don't want glary whiteness. I've cut it far too long, but not to worry. Doubling it over, take the tag out, go in from the back. Okay. In from the back and then loop it through. If you go in from the back, then you get your knot at the front. Okay. Right, so now I'm just going to put my tag back in to help me gauge where I want these. So these are going to go back to back, the mirror image. So just need to make sure I've got them the right way up, and I have. So I'm just grabbing the back one. Now I want this to tuck behind here. So I'm going to put it where it's going to go. I'm just going to put some glue down the middle where my string's going to go for now. Okay, not too much. Make sure my strings aren't twisted. And then just lay them on my books. Okay. And then I'm just going to pull it down a little bit so I've got a little bit of give. You know, I don't want it too tight. Alright, and then gently grab hold of it. Okay, to try and keep it in the situation you want. Although if it moves, it's no biggie. Okay, so can't remember which way around it goes now. That way. Okay, so then I'm going to add some glue here. Trying to keep the strings where I want them. Glue there. Okay, a bit more there. Spread it about a bit. Oh, I've got an itchy nose. Who's talking about me? Oh dear. Then line it up, okay? And then start and press. Now before your glue's dry, check that it's fairly straight at the back. But if you've done lots of inking on the back side, like I told you to, then it'll be fine. It doesn't matter if it's not perfect, okay? Now you can glue these back to back, put a little hole in, put a little bulb pin, and you've got yourself a little charm as well. I've also shown before how to do faux laminating by just covering the images with wide sellotape so that you've got a, you know, a glossy look. Or if you're really bonkers, you can use glossy accents, but I would not have the patience to wait for that to cover and dry with glossy accents. So the packaging tape trick would work if I so wanted it that way, but I don't. Okay, so I'm just squeezing that and nipping it where the twine is to make sure I've got a good coverage there and it's nice and solid and it's not going to come out. Okay, don't worry about the bulk because of the colour of the image, you're not going to see it. And then decide how long you want these. You could even add beads on if you wanted. It depends how much. I don't like a lot of bulk in my journals, so I don't put beads in the journal. And then just trim it where you want it, and then that will either hang free like so on your tag, okay, or you can just tuck it in your little tuck spot. So there you go, that's how those are made. I hope that that's given you a little bit of inspiration. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's my set of 4 made for my journal now. I'll probably put 2 in each signature. So go away and make some if you do try it, and share on social media. Make sure you tag me, put @Scrimpingmommy or @CreateWithScrimpingmommy, and I'll see your work, and I'll come and give you a big thumbs up, because I'm always your biggest cheerleader if you're sharing. I'll always leave a comment if I see it. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Take care. I'm off to go and finish my journal. See you soon. Bye.